All right, today we're doing something a little bit different with Hiking with Hollywood. Welcome to the El Perito Moreno. This is a glacier here in Argentinian Patagonia. Been really excited about doing this. We're actually gonna be hiking on the ice today. Again, I don't do a lot of vlogging, so we're mainly just gonna be looking at all the sights and sounds and all the stuff that I see. But it's really cool right now. It's the summertime, so the ice is actually breaking off into the lakes. It's really cool. So let's get to hiking. All right, so the ice goes up about 210 to 220 feet, 70 meters, and we're in Parque Nacional Los Glaciares, or the Los Glaciers National Park, or the Glaciers National Park in English. And as you can see, it is just magnificent. And you can see some of the icebergs that's broken off, including this really blue one here, which is really neat. All right, so that's enough of me vlogging. I'm gonna talk a little bit about where to go in order to get to Perito Moreno and a little bit about the tour that I'm actually taking. In order to get to Perito Moreno in the first place, you need to get to El Calafate. El Calafate is a southern city in Patagonian Argentina, not in Chile, but in Argentina. You can get there from Buenos Aires or Santiago if you fly into there. And I'm not going to tell you a specific tour company to take once you get to El Calafate, but there are dozens that's in the city that can help you. And I took what is called the Big Ice Tour. So this is 3 hours of us hiking on Perito Moreno. There's also a mini ice tour. I think it's an hour and a half versus doing a full 3 hours. And it's totally up to you which one you want to do. The Big Ice Tour, as you'll see, we have to hike quite a bit to get there. And it is 3 hours on the ice versus the mini trek. You basically get off the boat, put on your crampons, and then start doing your hour and a half, 2 hour hike on the ice. Now, if you want to specifically hike on Perito Moreno, you're going to need to actually hire a tour guide. You can't just do it on your own because it is in a national park. But unless you have significant experience hiking on a glacier or some significant experience hiking on ice, I do recommend going through a tour agency anyway for your first time, because you're going to need crampons and you're going to have to learn how to walk on the ice. So if you're like me, an experienced hiker, and you also like doing your own thing, you may have a little frustration with this tour just because the guides are very, very strict on where you can walk to, how close you get to the certain parts of the ice, because there's these massive cracks and massive holes in the ice that go down 70, 80 meters. And if you fall into one of them, there's probably a 0% chance that you're going to survive because of how far down they go, and then also how cold the water is. One thing, it was actually surprisingly warm on the ice. Of course, this is in February of 2023, and February in Argentina is the summertime. However, you think you're on a glacier and it's fairly cold in Calafate, you think it's going to be below zero, but it's not. I actually sweated through my rain jacket and did not need a puffy, even though you can hear the wind is very, very strong. So I purposely left the wind in the audio so you could feel and hear what it's like hiking on top of the glacier. So I'll shut up now. Patagonia is known to be very windy in the summertime, no matter where you go to. But when you're hiking on top of the glacier, well, there's nothing to block the wind. So you're gonna have to deal with the elements just like anything else. So if I have any advice to anyone who's wanting to do this hike or something similar, it's gonna be a several hour trip on the ice. One of the mistakes I felt like I made is I decided to rent a pair of boots versus using my trail runners I already have. This was a recommendation from one of my friends, And I wish I would have just wore my regular trail runners. So if you have trail runners or your own hiking boots or lightweight hiking boots, I would wear those instead of renting some. I felt like the hiking boots that I got was very restrictive and ended up hurting my feet by the end of the trek pretty badly. So you are going to take a break if you do the big ice trek somewhere on the ice for lunch. Make sure that you do bring food with you, and also make sure to check out your gear pack out list and bring all the items that the tour guides tell you to bring, because it is important when you get on the ice. Overall, I thought it was a really cool experience. It didn't really get me into wanting to do a ton of glacier hiking, but if I had to do it all over again, I definitely would have worn my own shoes and not wore the boots that I rented. But guys, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, here's your invitation to subscribe to Hiking with Hollywood. Have a great day.